Uh, got my sage burning because I love the smell of sage. I don't get to burn it in the studio, only when I clean because not everybody loves the smell. Plus, we don't want to choke everybody out, but I love it. Good vibes all day today. Super, super excited. I got my last coat of sealer on my cabinets, and I'm so excited. What does that have to do with the yoga? So if you're like tuning in and you're not one of our people that normally come to our studio, this is what we do. Before yoga class starts, I like to start on time, but before yoga class starts, we have community and we talk about what's going on in our lives and things that are going on. So I am super happy, feeling very extra motivated today, very energetic. I got my superhuman oil on today, and I'm just feeling very good and very positive today. So this is Power Week, Red Mat Week, and so we are going to do balance class today. So balance class also equates leg day. So those legs are going to be burning a little bit. The core is going to be definitely engaged. And so I know one of my particular lovelies, Kara, is going to be loving this class today. She has a love-hate relationship with this. She hates it, but she so wants it. So anyway, so we're going to have some fun with some balance stuff today. So in our balance class, not only do we focus on balanced postures, but balancing out the body. So balance comes from the brain. So I usually start off with the alternate nostril breathing for this class, just because it helps open up the airways on both sides, which will help bring some balance to the brain so that it can focus a little bit better when we are needing to engage the right things for these balance postures. So if you're one that struggles with balance, we can get so hung up on it and so frustrated that we just can't nail it down. It takes time. It's a retraining and reworking of your brain, and it takes time. So it's a little bit different. Yes, you need to engage core. You need to gain more core strength, having really good mind-body connection so that as your body starts to fall out of balance, you can feel what needs to be tweaked or torqued or engaged, or what needs to be moved around to capture that balance again. So clearing distractions out, super, super, super important. Using the breath, super, super important. A lot of times when we are working hard toward a posture, we tend to hold our breath. And that's one of the worst things you can do because you cut off the oxygen to your brain, which you need the brain for balance. So let's remember to breathe. Let's remember to take our time. I a lot of times see people in classes really rushing into postures. You've got plenty of time to practice this. You'll see me sometimes take a lot longer on one side than the other side because typically we're better balanced on one side than we are the other side. If there is misalignment in your hips, if your spine is a little twisted, if you have high arches in your feet, different things like that can really throw off your balance. So give yourself a break here. Don't stress yourself out too much, and we work both sides so that we can even it out. One side you're going to be better at than the other side. That's normal. And then also, I truly, truly, truly believe that the weather, the atmosphere affects our balance as well. So the pressure in the air can make a difference. Whether you have sinus issues, there's so many things that can throw off our balance. So give yourself a break. Just know that by trying, your body is working super, super hard. So whether you experience the full expression of the posture or feel great in the posture, the body's working hard just by trying. And that's what it's about. That's what brings change. Once you can easily float into a posture and hang there forever, then you're not really working. You're just being pretty. And we want to constantly be growing and constantly be changing. And that pretty pose is going to be great for a picture, but it no longer challenges the body the way that it once did. So we have to constantly enhance that posture for you, and there's never an end to yoga. So let's get going, shall we? If you are sharing the playlist with me today, I picked one of my favorite ones. It's Yoga 5. I'll put it in as a link in the comments. If you are tuning in with me. Let's hit the first song in 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, so today instead of Ujjayi breath, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So we close off the left side with the last 2 fingers and the right side with the thumb, or vice versa if you're doing it the opposite side. So last 2 fingers closes us off one side, the thumb closes off the other. The first 2 fingers, just get them out of the way. Sometimes people like to put them on their forehead. That doesn't work that great for me. I just bend them and get them out of the way, and I've got this thing going just back and forth. It still kind of works like Ujjayi breath, so the air, the belly fills up like that, except for you're pulling in through the nose instead of the throat this time, but your belly's still going to expand so that you have a place for that air to come in and a place for that air to go out. So let's, left side, last 2 fingers. Close your eyes. Go ahead and start to close out the thoughts or the distractions. Let's exhale everything out through the mouth. Closing off that left side. Start your inhale with your lips closed. Closing off the right side, exhale left nostril. Inhaling left nostril. Exhaling right side. Inhaling right side. Exhaling left side. Inhaling left side. Close off, exhale right side. Inhaling right side. The breath should be getting longer. Close off, exhale left side. Big inhale, both nostrils. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale both nostrils. Exhale through the mouth. One more breath. Inhale both nostrils. And exhale through the mouth. Start to roll the head side to side. Dropping those shoulders low. And inhaling left arm up. Exhale over to the right. Exhale, keep the booty on the mat and reach long from the hip all the way up through those ribs. Keeping that chest open. And exhale. Inhale, right arm up, exhale over to the left. Exhale, reach a little longer. And one more breath. And exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Twisting to the right, lift it up nice and tall. And exhale, twist, pull back with the shoulder. Nice straight spine. Your chin is following the twist. It's not leading the twist. So pull back in the shoulders so that left hand is pushing on that knee and you're pulling back with that shoulder. Twists are good for helping to straighten out that spine. Switching sides, lift it up nice and tall. Exhale, twist it around. I'm feeling so energetic today. Exhale. I wish you were in this room. Oh, if you guys were in this room, it would be like, powerhouse in here. I would feed off your energy. And exhale. Music moves me too. I like this playlist. And bringing it center. If you're on a blanket or pillow, come off of that. Cow face. So pull that left foot through, stack the right one on top. Wiggle into that. You want both butt cheeks on the mat. So we want to open up the hips a little bit so that we can balance out through our hips. And exhale, lean forward with the chest. Bring it up, connect that left elbow to the right knee and let's twist it out. Exhale, twist a little deeper, make sure your spine is nice and straight. And release, big toe bind, right fingers, right toe. Lengthen, don't worry if the leg doesn't go straight yet. We haven't stretched out those hamstrings, we're just waking them up a little bit. You can pump that out, anything that feels good to you. You have length through your shoulder socket, so my fingers are right here, but if I lengthen through my shoulder socket, see how much more length I gain? Taking that left hand, reaching over to the opposite side of the foot. So my arms are crossed at my forearms, and let's pull that leg up. Letting go of the right hand, open up. And release. Pulling that right foot through, stacking the left one on top. Wiggle into it if you need to get those knees stacked. If this is really hard for you, tight hips make it hard to cross the knees like this. So sit on something, sit on some blocks, lift yourself up. That's going to give your hips some more space. Don't struggle just to try to do it the way you think that it needs to be done. Lean into that, flat back. That's ego and that's pride, and we need to get rid of that. What you need to do is find a way that is best for your body to do it to where you gain the most benefits from it. Sitting like this and having your leg crossed like this is not doing much for you, except for creating much discomfort for you. So if you lift your hips up, you're going to get into a deeper stretch, and you're actually going to benefit those hips and open them up more if you use props. We are big advocates for props in our studio. We provide all the props for you, and we want you to use them. And let's twist it out. Right elbow, left thigh. Elbow up and push into that thigh. One more breath here. Big toe bind, left fingers, left toe, extend. Remember, length through the shoulders, so reach as long as you can. Use a strap if you need to. Remember, I have infinity straps here. I think I have 4 of them left if you guys need straps for home. A belt will work. The infinity straps are just nice because they have a loop on both ends. Right hand crossing to the other side of the foot, and let's pull up towards your chest. And So sometimes I have my mat set up different ways because of angles so that you can see kind of a side angle and kind of a front angle at the same time, so I don't have to keep turning on my mat and stay within the flow, because you guys know how I am when I have to get off my mat. You'll be there forever. So let's sink it back into a child's pose. Threading that left arm through the right side, drop into that. We're gonna challenge the balance here. While that hand is still on the mat, step that right foot back. Right hand goes up, exhale behind the back, reach for that thigh. Twist the chest open. My left toes are tucked under. If you want to really challenge your balance, you're using your head on the floor as well. Lift that right leg. Bringing the toes down, tap down, release the arm, and bring the knee down so we can gracefully come out of that. Lengthen those arms. Right arm threads through the left side, drop down into that. While that hand is on the floor, step back with the left foot. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, drop it behind the back of the hand towards your back, reaching for that thigh. This is my not so balanced side. And if you want, lift that left leg. Nice and slow. Find your focal point. Good mind-body connection. Feeling what needs to be adjusted in the back body to maintain balance or gain balance. This side is much harder for me. My leg doesn't come up near as high. I feel very wobbly. Bringing the toe back down. Release that arm. And sink it back. How'd you do? And if you have your wheel, grab your wheel. Rolling that out in front of us. If you don't have a wheel, you're just gonna kind of come, you can place blocks or books underneath your hands and just roll and drop the chest through. You just slide your hands out to the end of the blocks. Rocking the shoulders side to side. Side body stretch, and we are going to do, balance stuff on the wheel, so I'll get you guys on the wheel and then I'll show you with the blocks. So lining up the knee in the arch, pulling the hips forward, roll the ribs up and over, and pulling the ribs over. If you're using blocks, books, anything else, you can create the height that you want. You don't have to have it that high if you don't want. Hips are going to drop down. Shoulders going to drop down. Cross the ankles, reach up and over, and pull the ankles down toward the floor. Slightly different stretch than the wheel, but still a good side body stretch. It does work the balance. And we're going to find some balance. So since I'm already here on the blocks, we're going to plant the forearm. Lift that top leg, lift that arm, push the hips into the blocks or in the wheel and lift. I'm going to go back to my wheel. So if you're new to the wheel, you know what that looks like on the wheel. One more breath here. Let's bring those legs parallel. So let that wheel come down to the hip a little bit more. Arm floats over the head, palm facing the floor, side plank. Keep the core nice and tight. And switching sides. So line those hips up. If you're hinging in your hips, you're gonna struggle to find balance. So make sure the hips are pulling forward. You have one nice long line through the body. Rolling up over that wheel or up over those blocks. And let's find some balance here. This is my not so great side. Remember, we typically have one side that's better than the other. So the core is working just by trying. Let's bring those legs parallel to the floor. Side plank. And coming off of that, we're going to roll out our back. So I'm going to start from the back of my mat and roll that way because I normally go this way. I don't know that that's a great view. So I'm going to start here. We line the wheel up on our back, slide the feet up underneath our booty, and just start to rock it back and forth. So you want to keep a nice soft spine. You want the wheel to take the shape, or your back to take the shape of the wheel. Let your belly expand. Hip flexors. Taking your time getting your head to the floor. Once your head's there, reach it out nice and long, give it a nice good stretch. And bring those fingertips down by your head, bring those knees up. If you want, you can keep one foot down on the floor and lengthen a leg, or let's lengthen both. Let's straddle, and let's try to find some balance here. So, usually we have one side that's tighter than the other on our hips, so one leg probably drops a little bit lower than the other, which will throw off your balance, so you can really feel the body having to move. If you're on blocks, you're going to do the same thing. The tailbone is going to be on the blocks, and you're just going to find some balance with those legs. And let's start to bring them back up, still trying to keep the hands lifted from the floor. Bending those knees. Bringing the hands up toward the knees. Lift a leg. Other leg. Reach the arms out in front. Float them back on either side of the wheel. And bringing them back into prayer. Knees come in. And let's lengthen that right leg out. Bring it in. Lengthen that left leg out. Balance also, find your focal point. Keep your eyes fixed. Don't let your eyes
Be working all around. Keep them fixed on a focal point. And bring those in. And hands on the floor. Woo! Let those hip flexors take a break. And drag that body back up over the wheel, nice and slow. And round out that spine. And bring that to all fours. So if your knees are tender, pat them up with a blanket. Hands are right underneath the shoulders, always wide fingers on the mat. We never have our fingers together. That's an unstable base. You will not feel balanced with your fingers together. Always wide fingers on the mat. Elbows never winging out this way. They're always to the back, so when you bend your elbows, they're going backwards. Okay, let's center that right knee, lengthen the left. The heel's up, so try not to open your hip here. Try to keep your hip bones closed and facing the mat. Lengthen that right arm out, thumb is up, and try to bring it in line with the ear. So we don't want the head tipped up like this. We want you looking down and out in front of your mat. You can stay here or exhale, turn the palm down, take the foot out to the side and the arm, and then exhale, lift the side of the foot and the back of the hand in line with the shoulders. Bringing that front back, elbow to knee, reaching back long, out to the side, lift. Front back, elbow knee, reach it out front, one more time, out to the side, lift. Front back, elbow knee, front back, all fours. Woo! Rock those hips side to side. Switching out sides. Make sure those hands are right underneath the shoulders. Centering that left knee. Lengthen the right leg. So your toes should be facing the floor, the heel up toward the ceiling. So if that foot is pointed and those toes are turned out and the hip is open, we want to close that, hip bones toward the floor. Wide fingers, grip your mat. Lengthen that left arm in line with that ear. It might be a little bit more of a struggle. This side is a little more of a struggle. You can stay right here or exhale out to the side and lift. Breathe. Front back, elbow to knee. Lengthen. Get your balance. Out to the side. Lift. Front back, elbow knee, lengthen, out to the side, lift, front back, elbow knee, lengthen, hand to the floor. Woo! Rock those hips side to side. Tuck those toes. Plank pose. Tuck that pelvis in high through the heart. Lengthen that right arm. If you want, left leg. And plank. Lengthen the left arm. And if you want, a right leg. Plank, down dog. Walk that up toward the front of your mat. Hanging forward fold. Let's start to wake up those hamstrings a little bit. So maybe rocking the upper body side to side, pedaling out the feet, the knees, rocking the hips side to side, whatever feels good to you. like we've been working. Mountain pose, engage, tuck that pelvis in, booty comes in, nice tight thighs, nice tight triceps. Inhale, fan up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's lengthen those hamstrings. Take a breath in. And exhale, drop that chest. Take a breath in. And exhale, deepen that stretch. And one more breath. And exhale. Connect those hands, push the hip out to the right. Keep your feet squared up on the mat. Exhale over to the left. Bring it center, good strong back, inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, namaste. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, forward folds. Heel toe those feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Step it back to plank, knees or toes. Get that good plank form before you get going. Lower chaturanga. Slide through into that up dog. Pull the chest through, drop the pelvis low, lift the head. Enjoy those stretches. Bringing it into your down dog, rolling up over those toes. Don't forget those toes. And pedal out. Pushing the chest toward the thighs, lengthening those arms, pushing those fingers into the mat. Centering the left foot, or the right foot, sweep the left foot up, lift it nice and high, lengthen those arms. Let those hamstrings stretch out. And bringing that knee up into the chest, quietly plant the foot, half moon. Right leg floats up, left finger stays down, right arm floats up right in front of the chest, straight out of the shoulder socket. If you feel balanced, turn and twist and look up toward the thumb. Open up the chest, lengthen the leg really long. Now if that hand doesn't quite reach the floor, have something under there. Now we're going to bring your gaze to the floor. Bring the fingers to fingertips, lifting the chest a little bit more. Let's see if we can lift those fingers off the floor. Hands to the floor, close up those hips. Left hand floats up, twisting half moon. Lengthen that leg, lift that heel, open that chest. Hand comes to the floor, standing splits. Right leg floats up, take it behind that right glute, lift. Left hand behind that left thigh, pull your chest in. And if you want to challenge balance, take those right fingers off the floor too. Fingers on the floor, foot on the floor. Woo! It's why we call it leg day 2. Pedal that out. Woo! Good strong back, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, namaste. Woo! Burning those legs. Inhale all the way up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, take it back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Sliding through up dog. Drop that pelvis, push that heart through. Don't forget to roll up over those toes into that down dog. Centering the left foot, sweeping the right leg up nice and high. Lengthen. Bending that knee, pull it way up into the chest, quietly plant the foot. Left leg floats up, find your balance. Stay rooted through all the bones of the feet. I like my fingers to be on fingertips, not flat hand here. This gives me more stability, wide fingers. Float that left arm up, straight out of that shoulder socket. If you feel balanced, cast your gaze up. Lengthen that leg and lift. Cast your gaze to the floor. Let's see if we can start to lift the chest a little more. See if we can bring those fingers up off the floor. Rooting down to that foot. And bringing those fingers to the floor, closing those hips. Right arm floats up, twisting half moon. Lift that back heel, lengthen that leg. Open up that chest. Hand comes to the floor, standing splits. Slide that leg over to the left, lift. Right hand behind that calf, pull it in. And then if you want, left fingers off the floor too. Don't let that leg drop, keep lifting. Hands to the floor, foot to the floor, and pedal that out. Whew, good strong back, inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, namaste. All right, so with this next one, we're really gonna engage the core and we're gonna engage the legs. So if you do not have this extension, if you can't grab your foot with that leg being straight, then you want some sort of a strap or a belt. Choke up on the strap, make sure there's not a lot of slack in it because we want a lengthened arm and a lengthened leg. So you don't want to be bending the arm or have the leg like this. You want long arm, long leg. So bring that into a forward fold, right fingers on the floor, shift the hip over to the right, grab the outside edge. We're not grabbing toes, the outside edge of the foot. Lean over into that right hip and exhale, legs straight up. Try to bring it in line with the shoulders. And bringing that down. Gonna do the other side. Shift the weight over into the left. Grab hold of the outside edge of the foot, and then exhale up. Try to bring it in line with those shoulders. And bringing that down and pedal that out. Whew, good strong back inhale, up. Exhaling, namaste. Inhale the way up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take it back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Slide through up dog. Pushing that heart through. Roll the tips of the shoulders back. Dropping the pelvis down to the floor. And up over those toes. Into down dog. And centering the right foot, sweeping the left leg up. Bend that knee. Bring the left fingers to fingertips. Wide fingers on the right hand. Pull the heart forward. We're going to start to bring the hand up off the floor and try to find some balance. Maybe just a touch and go here. If you can, bring that hand up toward the ceiling. And hand comes to the floor, let's switch it out. Right leg goes up, bend that knee. Wide fingers on that left hand. Bringing the right fingers to fingertips. Let's find some balance. So really root down in through that left hand. And bringing that down, down dog. Whew. Centering that right foot, sweep the left leg up, bring that up into your chest, quietly plant the foot, crescent pose. Tip those hips forward, sink into the thigh, bring those hands down to prayer, springing forward with a closed hip, warrior three. Arms can be out here to the side, so we don't want the head tipped up. We want the head in line with our spine. Hips are closed as much as you can. Arms can go out behind you, palms up to lengthen that spine, or a little bit more intense, out in line with those ears. Lift that back heel. Slide those hands into prayer. Bringing that knee up. Woo, extend that leg. Cross that foot in front of the thigh, sink it back, half chair, half squat. Chest stays lifted, booty sinks low, get that nice good glute stretch. Let's cradle that up. So pull that up nice and tight. Big toe bind. Whew. First two fingers, keep your eyes fixed on a focal point. First two fingers, connect to that leg, lift that chest nice and tall. Extend out. If you want, take it out to the side and lift. Bringing that in to tree pose. I'm hoping I can remember all of this for the other side. Find your focal point. Bringing those hands down to prayer. Shift your gaze. Foot goes behind you. Same hand, same foot. Dancer pose. Only lean forward as far as you can maintain balance. Keep your focal point. Push the foot into the hand. Roll the tip of the shoulder back. And bringing that back up. Woo! Shake that leg out. And bringing that back into mountain pose. Other side. Okay, so if I forget, go where you know you're supposed to be going if you do remember. Inhale all the way up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Take it back to plank. Lowering chaturanga. Slide through up dog. And down dog. Sliding the left foot over, sweeping the right leg up. Lengthen. And bringing that knee to the front, plant the foot for crescent pose. Find some stability here. Widen your base if you need to. Sinking into the front thigh, tipping those hips forward, pulling that back leg straight, bringing those hands down to prayer. Let's spring forward. Find some balance here. Find your focal point. Hips stay closed. Try not to open them. If that's too painful for you, everybody's anatomy is different, then open up your hip. It's just a little bit harder to balance, so arms can be out to the side. Remember, head is not up, and you're not looking up like this. You're looking down and out. Or hands behind you, lengthen the spine. Or for a little bit more intense, right in line with the ears. Bring those hands into prayer. And let's start to bring that knee in. I believe we went to big toe bind.
Lift that chest up, nice and tall. Find your focal point. Lengthen. If you want, take it out to the side. And lift. And cross that leg. Sink it back, half chair. Ooh, I think I did that wrong. It's all right, we'll get it all in. And scoop it up. This is where we went to the big toe bind. That's all right. Let's pull it into tree. Bring those hands down to prayer. Foot goes behind you, same hand, same foot. Reaching it out. Dancer pose, lean only as far as you can maintain balance. Push the foot into the hand, roll the tip of the shoulder back. Breathe, keep your eyes fixed on that focal point. And bringing that back up. And release. I think we got everything. Whew. All right, so we're gonna do toy soldier or super soldier. Different yogis call it different things. I think Erica calls it super soldier. I call it toy soldier. Same pose. All right, so you may have to stop the video. Sometimes when you're watching something happen because it's backwards to you, if I was in class, I could turn the same direction as you and we could do the movements together. But watching it, it's kind of tricky in our brain. So I'm gonna cue through. So if you listen to my verbal cues, I'll go slow, then you should be able to connect with it. Okay, so we're shifting the weight over into the right hip. We're gonna bring the right fingers down, bend that knee, shift over, and then the arm is on the inside of that leg. See where my hand is? On the inside of the foot. My knee is bent. This is what it looks like, almost like a Spider-Man, kind of like this leg's extended, this leg is bent. Okay? Left fingers out to the front, angled out to the front. Kick the left foot behind your right booty, your right butt cheek. Left fingers stay down, right hand picks up, but keep it connected to that right leg. Fingers come off the floor and grab hold of the ankle or the foot. And then pull the knee up, lengthen the standing leg. And release that down. We're gonna do that again on the same side. I'm gonna turn so that we're doing it in the same direction so that you can connect with me, okay? All right, so shift over into that hip. Fingers on the floor. Opposite fingers reaching out. Okay. Kick the heel up behind the booty. Pick the hand up, reach for the toes, and then pull the knee up toward the ceiling and lengthen the standing leg. We got it? And bring that down. Okay, so I just realized that as I'm cueing you this way, I'm cueing the opposite so that when you're looking at me, it's not too confusing, but when I flipped around, it was the opposite side. So I don't know which side you worked. So we're gonna do that same thing other side. So I'll do it this direction, cueing just like I did, and then flip it around. So this time, shifting over into that left hip, left hand on the inside of that foot, pressing the arm into the leg, right fingers out in front, out to the side,
Kick the right foot behind the right glute. Left fingers up, grabbing the ankle or the foot, and lifting the knee and lengthening the leg. And bringing that back down. I'm going to turn it and do it this way. So shifting hip to the side. Fingers on the inside of the foot, pressing the arm into the leg. Opposite fingers reaching out. Kicking the heel up behind the booty. Fingers connect. Opposite hand, opposite foot. And then lengthen the standing leg, lifting that knee up toward the ceiling. And bring that down. Whew. All right. So, crow pose. Inversions, arm balances, all part of balancing. Stick with me. You'll get this crow pose, okay? If you listen to my cues and you trust me. So if you are nervous that your face is going to hit the floor, grab a crash pad, pillows, blankets, something right there in front of your face. I'm going to turn to the side so you can watch and connect and stay with me. Do not let these triceps come away from those knees. So if you are not even to this right here and you're up here, you're just going to keep opening the hips and getting down here, okay? And you can plant blocks up here and just lean into this right here, okay? So, squat back like you're sitting into a chair. So we don't want to squat this way. Keep the heels down. Sink it back. Connect those triceps low on the knees. Pull the heart up into the spine, wide fingers. Don't disconnect those arms. Roll forward on the toes. Plant the hands. Now you're up on the ball of the foot on the toes. Keep the eyes looking out. Don't look between your legs. Eyes looking out. Lean, 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 lean. Keep pulling up into the heart and see if those toes want to float up. Do not push yourself forward. You lean into it. The farther you lean, the toes will pick up. If you push yourself forward, momentum's going to carry you and you're going to crash, okay? So you just keep leaning until the toes start to pick up because they have to. With your legs resting on your triceps, they've got nowhere else to go but up. So that's when you know you're on your fulcrum and you're balancing. Once you're balancing, that's the easy part. It's the getting there. So let's do it again. Squat, connect, pull the heart up into the spine. So we don't want to cave here. We want to pull it up nice and tight. Roll forward on the toes. Keep the eyes looking out in front. Lean, 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 lean till the toes get light back here. And then pull up. Maybe just one at a time. When you're switching in the air, you can probably bring both up. Okay, how we doing? All right, so if you're almost there, and you're really, really, really close, and you just can't get those feet up off the floor, maybe try from blocks or something to prop yourself up. This puts your feet basically where they need to be if you get them up high enough. You don't want them up super high because then you'll be up too high. And you squat back. Remember, we don't want this caving and our booty tucking up. We want this in our body, okay? This makes your body lightweight. So if you think about, I always tell my yogis this, a toddler, when a toddler wants to be picked up, they make themselves light and they're easy to pick up. If you want to pick them up and they don't want to be picked up, they pull all their body weight down and they're super, super heavy. You do the same thing with your own body. You can make your body light or you can make your body heavy. When we're dropping down like this, our body's super heavy. It applies a lot of pressure to the back of our triceps and we have no core engagement there. We're resting solely on shoulder strength. We want to engage the core, make the body light. That helps you balance on these triceps and you use less in the shoulders. Engagement. Don't look between the legs. Keep the eyes looking out. I know it's scary, but that's where you need to. If you look between the legs, the head drops down, then you're losing part of what's balancing you. You know, this thing here, once the head comes down, it all wants to come down. So keep the head up. So sink back, connect, roll forward on the toes, plant the hands, lean, lean, lean. See these toes? They're just barely touching, and then you can just pick up. And if none of that is happening for you yet, how I learned how to do crow, which I see a lot of people doing it, it's super hard for me to do now, just because I have right engagement, and once you feel that engagement, it makes it so much easier. You don't realize how much extra work you're doing until you apply proper engagement. But this is the way I started. This is how a lot of people start, is squatting down, knees are wide. So you never want your hands close to your feet. You can't get into it that way. The balls of the feet will be stuck. So take them out a little bit. So the elbows are coming out at an angle wide. So instead of back like this, which is what we like, they're wide just a little bit. And my knees are outside on those triceps. They have to be above your elbow somewhere. If not, when you go into it, they're gonna slide right off your elbow. So you're gonna tip forward, lift one foot, lift the other foot. Still pulling up to the heart, pushing through those fingers. And that is so much harder for me to hold because it's just so much of my body weight down. Always remember wide fingers. This creates a stable base. And I grip my mat, not dig my claws in like this, but pull with the fingertips, okay? So it engages my hands here, so they're not flat like this. So they're not flat like this. I don't know if you can see, but they're kind of pulling back like this, okay? Like that. Not like that, like this. Okay? Let's try that one more time. Your best crow pose, eyes looking out. Don't plant your hands right here by your feet. Roll forward on the toes, keep them connected, and plant them out away from the feet. Lean, lean, lean. Don't look between your legs. Breathe. And coming out of that. If you would like to invert today, any kind of inversion that you feel you want to do if you're up close to a wall. If you feel confident not using the wall, practice coming away from the wall a little bit. Go toward a couch. There's not quite that wall there, but there's a soft landing there behind you. If you're new to inversions, headstand, tripod headstand is a great thing to start with. You can do it right at the wall. Tripod means triangle, 3 sides. So we don't ever have the hands right up here by the head pad. We make a triangle with our head and our hands. And you never want to roll into the neck. You need to keep the head nice and straight. When you're ready, bring that back down. And we just have a couple more minutes, so let's do 8-limb pose. Okay, so this is another one that the trickiest part is getting the booty up off the floor. All the hard work is getting up into it once you're in it. The balance part is the easy part. And this is one that's so much easier if you're in class with me. So let's tuck the right knee in. Bring the left
ankle inside the right ankle. So your legs are like this. So the knee that's up in the air, that ankle's in front of the other one, okay? Let me turn this way a little bit because I'm going to be headed towards you. So we think that our body's going to go that way. It's not. It's going to go this way in the direction that this hip is in. Left hand comes between the thigh and the calf and is on the floor right there, okay? Fingers nice and wide. My fingers are facing that direction. This arm is not going to stay out this way. It's going to come in to where my hands are shoulder width apart, okay? So my chest is twisting in the same direction that my hands are, okay? So the hard part is getting up. So we rock forward. We need to slide also. We're sliding this elbow underneath this thigh. So the thigh that's lifted up back here, the elbow goes underneath that thigh. Tipping forward, shoulders come forward, and lengthen the legs. Okay, so my legs are resting on this tricep, so the arm is bent like this, and this is a table for my legs to squeeze. So I've got one leg under, one leg over, squeezing and holding myself up. So I'm going to do it facing the opposite direction so you can see what I just did. So, tucking that foot under, hooking the other ankle in, hand goes between thigh and calf, elbow underneath the thigh. You should see that coming up underneath there. I'm facing the direction of my hip, tipping the shoulders up. So both of my triceps are squeezing my ribs, okay? So try the other side. Bend that knee. Ankle comes in, hand between the thigh, elbow underneath that opposite thigh, fingers to the front. I see this a lot. This is not going to help you. You need to have this here so that elbow can stay tucked into those ribs. And keeping the hands shoulder width apart helps to keep you strong through these shoulders and keep them protected. So up, drop in, let the body rest on the tricep. Oops, lost it. Tipping the chest forward. The legs are squeezing that tricep, that arm. And I'm going to turn and do it last one. So tuck that foot, ankles connect, hand goes between the thigh and the calf, elbow up underneath that thigh, fingers facing the direction that the hip is facing, both hands shoulder width apart, lift the booty, drop the shoulders, slide the feet out, squeeze. And release. Nice work. Whew. So, some good core work, some good leg workout. Good work for the brain. So I hope you feel great. I feel great. Let's go to Shavasana. Let's see what I have on this playlist for Shavasana. Light in between. It's the second to the last song in the playlist. Or you can find your own Shavasana song, join me, laying back. Actually, no, sorry. We always go into boat on balance. Boat,
Finding that balance. Let's rock it over to the right side. Get up on that butt cheek. Teo would have been really upset with me if I would have forgotten boat. Over to the left. Pull it up. And then softly melt yourself down. Let those feet fall open to the corners of your mat. Shimmy out those shoulders a little bit, flatten out the shoulder blades, palms up, fingers and wrists are loose. Relax the toes and the ankles, soften the calves, relax the knees. Relax those thighs, unclench the booty, let the abs relax. You just work them really hard. Fingers and wrists are loose, elbows, biceps and triceps. Take a breath. And with your exhale, sink your chest and shoulders into the mat. Unclench your jaw, so let the teeth separate. Lightly close the lips and let your jaw sink back. Lightly close the eyelids, let the eyeballs sink back, they'll feel crossed. Relaxing the forehead, relaxing the eyebrows. Back of the head is all relaxed. Keep the breath nice and steady. Try not to move around, try not to fidget. Learning to accept rest, appreciate rest. Not catering to every little desire that your brain tells your body to do. You do not have to scratch every itch that you have. Resisting those little temptations. Wiggle fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. Draw the legs together, reach the arms up overhead. Give it a good stretch. Rolling to the right and bring that up to seated. I hope you feel amazing. I hope you have a fabulous day. Let's exhale everything out. Big inhale, both nostrils. And an exhale. Namaste, my lovelies.